Hello, hello. Today I am going to do my November wrap-up today. And we read 4 books, not quite as much as I wanted to read, but I was kind of in a slump and reading a big book as well. So the first book I finished was The Girl from the Well. And this one is a really good book. This was rated a 5 out of 5, and I absolutely love this book. Um, this is about a vengeful spirit, and basically she meets this boy named like this boy. Um, I forget his name, but this high school boy, and there's something dark within him, like another spirit and stuff. I'm not going to give away details and how that spirit was in. It's kind of dealing with his family and stuff like that. This is definitely kind of a, the Ring story, obviously, but it's a different twist because it's got 2 spirits, a vengeful spirit and another really evil spirit or whatever. This also has like execution and trying to get spirits out of the people's body and rituals. So, and it's really fun and interesting. I love the cover of the book, which is really, really awesome. And the point of view is from the girl, the vengeful spirit, who is telling the story, and she also tells about like the other people or whatever. Like there's this other girl I think that kind of learns more about history. This would be really good as a movie. I loved it. I loved the fight scene. Loved this book. So yeah, I rated this 5 out of 5. The next book I finished reading was The Crystal Cave. This one was really good. This is about Merlin, and this first part is really about Merlin and his childhood and up to his adulthood. So he has many names, obviously, and this is created by the legend of Merlin. Mary Stewart definitely got the story and got the legend and kind of created this huge book, I'd say. Like, it is a huge book. But it's a really good book, and it definitely has fantasy elements. Like, it reminds me of Lord of the Rings a little bit in the fantasy way. It was also very political, so it's more political. There's not really too much magic in this book. There is kind of hints of it, but it's not like this is more like Lord of the Rings or other, like J.R.R. Martin, other fantasy books, because it kind of deals with the politicalness of the society rather than magic and lightning or anything like that. Merlin did not have magic in this book, which I really liked, and I really like that because, all the shows, movies, Merlin has magic, he's a wizard, and, this one's more like he's like an omen, like a guy who predicts the future, and he does this unintentionally, so he doesn't even know what he's saying to these people about what's going to happen in the future. He just says it, and it's really interesting. I really, really liked it. It was a 4 out of 5. I rated it, and the reason why I rated it a 4 out of 5 is because I felt I really liked it, but I didn't love it. Like, it wasn't like flowing smoothly. I think I started in the middle of it, so I did put this down once, so yeah, and I really enjoyed it though, so it was a 4 out of 5. The next book I listened to on audiobook, and this was my audiobook pick of the month. And this was Wedding Night by Sophie Kinsella. This is my first Sophie Kinsella book, and it was great. It wasn't amazing. I wouldn't say it was amazing because at the end it kind of like wraps up smoothly, and I kind of like different things. This is about a girl named Lottie, and Lottie knows something's kind of going on with her boyfriend, and she thinks that he's going to propose to her. Apparently he does not, and it just escalates from there. And then one day she meets her old friend in high school, and she hooks up with him. Basically, she marries him. And things go on from there. It is hilarious. This is told by two characters. Lottie tells some part of her story, and then her sister which Fliss, I think, tells some of the story as well, because Fliss doesn't want her marrying Mr. Wrong Guy, and yes, and so things escalate. It's hilarious. It gets to the point where it's just really hilarious. This definitely has a lot of British humor, so if you're into like British movies or British shows, you would definitely love this. I love British books. I'm like a fan of them, And although some of the writing in that part, in the British part, was hilarious, I think some of the other, like in the end and stuff, wasn't as hilarious, and it was just kind of a downward spiral in a way to me, because it wasn't like everything resolved perfectly, and yeah, I don't know. I just was like wanting more chaos and stuff. But it was good. I rated this a 4 out of 5, so it was up there. And if you do like Sophie Kinsella, I do highly recommend The Wedding Night. So, yeah. And the last book I read, and I just finished this today, so I am counting it. Okay? I know it's technically December, but hello. This is called The Invisible Tower, and this is book 1 in the Otherworld Chronicles. This was about a kid named Artie. This is a middle grade novel. But it's a kid named Artie and his sister Kay, and they play this online game where they fight a dragon, and they play an online game. Now, in this book, he gets a message from M, or not, Artie gets a message from M, and M is definitely someone who he doesn't know who M is, so one of these days I think they go to a tournament, which Kay is part of a tournament for video games and stuff, and she doesn't bring her liking controller, so Artie finds a store called The Invisible Tower. And of course, The Invisible Tower is where Merlin resides. And so this obviously is another King Arthur tale. This one obviously tells the story of Kay and Artie. And Artie is Arthur, and they meet a lot of people. We meet Tom Thumb in this, which is really creative. It has a little bit of really fun twists in some of the nights. This one definitely is middle grade, and it's definitely fantasy. I would definitely classify this fantasy because it does have magic. It has supernatural creatures and all that stuff. We meet, like, I think wolf head with a man, and we meet other creatures like dragons and tree nymphs things. We meet the water spirit. It's just really awesome. This one is so awesome, and I read this book, and I really loved the pages, like how they were shielded and stuff. It was really good, and the cover, I guess, is really embossed with that sword. and it just was really, really good. So I'm planning on picking up the second book. I really enjoyed this first book, and yeah. And that is all I read, and that was a 4 out of 5 as well. And that's all I read. If you like this video, click on my face. Subscribe, please. It would do me a lot. I am planning on doing a TBR for November, so I will film that tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.